You know, this kind of questions were put forward during the time of the Buddha, and there was one peasant girl, one very simple-minded, and a village girl. The Buddha had asked her this question. Exact questions I cannot remember, no? But it's something like this also. The Buddha had asked her, where did you come from? And she said, I do not know. And then the Buddha asked her, where are you going to? And she said, I do not know. Then the Buddha asked her again, you really do not know? And she said, I know. And those people around were quite bewildered, no? She was not trying to be funny. And then the Buddha asked her, why, sister, did you answer me? How is it that you do not know where you come from? Then she said, I did not know where I came from because I do not know what my previous lives were. Hence, I do not know where I came from. Of course, she knew very well that she had come from the village that she lived. See? Beyond that, she did not know. To the Buddha, she answered, I do not know, because she did not know where she really came from. And then the Buddha asked her again, then you said you do not know where you are going to. Said, yes, I did not know where. From now, from here, from this life, I do not know where I will be born again. So I do not know where I'll be going. But when you ask me whether I really know or not, yes, I know. I know that I'm going to be reborn. I know I'm going to be reborn, but I do not know where I'll be reborn. And because she gave this answer, because her mind was developing, and in the frame of mind she was such that she was just practicing, and she was not so much interested about the village where she came from, or the country or the place where she's going to. What she's interested in, you see, how to put an end to suffering, how to put an end to overcome suffering, and hence her answers are at this level. But don't try to answer this way. And when I arrived in Singapore last Saturday evening, and on Sunday some people came and asked me same question. Reverend, where are you from, Reverend? And actually I do not know where to say. And I can only say that this time I have come from Sydney. I come from Australia. And then he said, oh, you're from Australia, it is. I said, no. Because I'm not from Australia. And no. Then he looked at me and he thinks, something wrong somewhere. No? And I said, oh. And because he was not ready, he had little time, you see. And those people, many people also, they they want to talk something, but they have no time to listen. No? So cannot give one word answer. So if you want, I have to explain as he has explained. So I must thank him that originally I come from Malacca, originally, and then he missed out that I was here also, no, from Malacca, when I was ordained first in Malacca, and then I took my higher ordination here. And how long I stayed here, I do not know. And maybe on and off, you see. When I came here and with the monks training center here, then I came from here and then went to Sri Lanka, and every year I come back to and fro like that, you see. And I did not spend all the 5 years there, but on and off, you see. Then after that, came back and then went to Singapore. I was residing there for 3 years. Residing, that does not mean to say that I stay there all the time. Stay there, that means for most of the time. And it was after that I left for Australia, and I've been there a little more than a year. So now I am here. So, right. What is the topic for today's talk or discussion? I do not know, is that right? So we have started with that topic, I do not know. How the girl says, I do not know. And no, actually, Sister Siwa approached me a couple of nights ago here and asked me, or was it last night? Yes, last night. And asked me whether what I can talk, and I asked her to fix anything. And then, so she says, speak something that about happiness, And because many of you might have heard about Buddhism. Those of you who have read about Buddhism only read about suffering. So we will talk about happiness today. Are you happy? Yes. Are all of you happy? Very good. And how long have you been happy? And how long can you stay happy like this? This is a question. So, in order to maintain your happiness, in order to maintain this happy state of mind, yes, obviously you must be happy in order to come here, in order to sit down like this quietly and listen. Your minds must at least be relatively free, if it is not totally free. Because if the mind is bogged down with all kinds of unhappy thoughts and sadness and sorrow, and it's very difficult to come, and it's very difficult to sit down quietly. So the fact that you are able to sit down quietly means that you have some happiness in the mind. When we talk about happiness in the mind, we really refer to the peace of mind, the peace, the quietness in the mind. Of course, the quietness and the peace of mind, it varies in degrees. Some are more peaceful, some are a little bit peaceful, sometimes restless, sometimes peace, in and out like that, up and down. So when one studies Buddhism and puts the Dhamma, the teachings into practice, actually the whole teachings of the Buddha is for the purpose of freeing one's mind and teaching people how to overcome their suffering and to live a happy and peaceful way of life. That is, please remember this. Although you may have heard about suffering, but the Buddha has taught more than suffering. Of course, in order to know what happiness is, you must know what suffering is about. In order to know how to gain happiness, you must know what are the pitfalls, what are the causes that brings about sorrow, that brings about suffering. It is when you are able to overcome, able to check those causes, those conditions that brings about suffering and sorrow, then you will be able to free yourselves from that fetter, from that bondage, and then the mind can be happy. I think all sensible people in this world, not only Buddhists, they all want to be happy. The only thing is that they do not know what that happiness is about, and because different people have different concepts of happiness, different ideas of happiness. If I ask you, what are the things that make you happy? What will you say? What are the things? You don't have to think, have you? What are the things that make you happy? I thought you said you are happy. What are the things that make you happy? Give a little thought to this. What is that? Oh, practice Buddhism. When he has opportunity to practice Buddhism, to practice Dhamma, he is happy. Right? Oh, that is for him. That's for him. And that's why when his parents don't allow him to practice Dhamma, then he will be very sad. But even then, you can still practice, isn't it? Because the beauty about Buddhism is this, that the nature of the Dhamma, the nature of Dhamma is that there is no time limit for you to practice. No time in the sense that any time is Dhamma time. If we can understand what Dhamma is about. Now, some of you have come here with the idea of wanting to learn the Dhamma. And I know some of you cannot sing. But some of you can sing very well, or at least most of you can sing very well. Because when I was one of you, before I was ordained, I also used to sit around, not in this kind of hall, This hall was not here. And I used to sit somewhere and listen. And then when people sing, I was not happy, because I come to listen to Dhamma, not to sing song. Because I cannot sing. So I was not happy. And then waited and waited and waited. Nobody came. Song after songs. And then eventually Chief Reverend turned up. And then then happy already. No? Now that was those days. Now I realize any time is Dhamma time. Next time, if you have the same trouble, same problem that I had before, in case you cannot sing, then don't worry. While they are singing, you can practice Dhamma. Very simple to practice Dhamma. You know how to practice Dhamma? How? Very simple. Huh? How? Do you know how to breathe in and breathe out? You have done that. I think that was the first thing you did. From the time you were born. From the time you were born, the midwife or the doctor or the nurse must have given you a good tight slap, if not on your face, at least on your back. And then you start the first scream, the first shriek of life. That is to breathe in, to get the breath, to force the breath out, and then get the first breath of life. And from that time onwards, you have been breathing in and out for how long? 20, 30, 40, 50, some 60 years. Did you know you were breathing in and out? Or at least were you aware of it? Or are you aware of it? You will be surprised when you look at it carefully that many still do not know how to breathe in and how to breathe out. Because you have taken for granted, no? And you may not be aware that it is this breath that maintains that life. And it is also through the awareness of the breath while we breathe in and breathe out. If we can develop our awareness, we can grow, we can develop our concentration. We can develop our concentration on the breath, and that concentration, when developed with awareness, can bring about happiness in the mind, because it will enable us to cut off from unwanted thoughts, disturbing thoughts, distractions, worries. We will be able to cut off and be able to let go all the thoughts of the past, and also thoughts of the future. This is what many people live. They live in the past. Do you live in the past? Do you know when you are living in the past? Yes. When sometimes you are sitting quietly, but still your mind was just now, before this, you were singing, and now you may be singing still in your mind, still because you have not picked up that, do not know how, the pitch, do not know what chord to play, and so your mind was clinging and still clinging. So you are living in the past. Or while you are sitting here, your mind may be planning what to do afterwards, after this talk, what to do. Got refreshment or not? Hungry already, did not take breakfast this morning. And afterwards, what meeting? And in the meeting, what to say, what to do? Planning. And go back, what to do? Of course, some people planned for 1 or 2 days, but some people have, 1 year plan. But nowadays, we all have, diaries that come 5-year plan. So plan for 5 years. And so our minds are constantly going to the past, living in the past and in the future. And so what happened to the present? We are not living in the present. The present moment just passed away like that. And many people suffer. Not many people. We too. I too join the others. As long as mindfulness, when there is lack of mindfulness, when my mind dwells in the past, or my mind goes to the future, then unsatisfactoriness arises in the mind. Then insecurity arises in the mind. We think, what is going to happen? The mind becomes insecure. And then fear arises in the mind, worries arises. When worry arises, what happens? The body becomes tense, tension. When the body becomes tense, then the food also cannot digest properly, not relaxed. The gastric juice and digestive juices cannot function properly. Or before the food goes in, chewing also. No time to chew because very tense, so whatever you put in just goes down, swallow down. So how to digest the food? And when the food is not properly digested, how to have a very smooth excretory process? So you keep that for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. And keeping those things, please remember, the Dhamma is what goes in must come out. Whatever you breathe in you must breathe out. If you breathe in, you don't breathe out, sorry. Similarly, by watching this breath, it can teach you many things. What you receive on one hand, you should learn how to give out on the other hand. Because if you try to accumulate, then you are going to attract trouble. Because you are putting burden on you, isn't it? Of course, people like to keep things. More and more money, more and more clothing, one after another. More and more food stocked up. And keep on stocking and hoarding these things. Don't want to give. Don't want to share. All the things that you are keeping in your handbag, in your cupboard, in your cars, in the bank, they are not really yours. You may hold certificates, you may hold receipts, but they are not really yours. Because anything can happen. Anything can happen. Time, again and again, has taught us this lesson. But unfortunately, there is not sufficient wisdom to learn these lessons from it. When banks close down, when cooperatives close down, how many people suffer? Among you too. That's why you say, keeping outside. They are not really yours. So you must learn how to receive one hand and use on the other. Huh? And use. This is what the Buddha taught. When you know how to receive, you receive, in other words, the money that you earn in a righteous manner, righteously, without cheating, without hurting or harming others, then you will get happiness when you are able to possess some money. You are able to, you buy house, car, or whatever that you need. You have. That is what we recognize, the happiness that can be gained through possession, possessing wealth. Oh, don't think that, Buddhists should not have money. No. You can have money, you can have a lot of money. But you must know how to use it. Use it wisely. Earn righteously on one hand, and then know how to use it wisely. To use it wisely means to be able to use it in a manner that can benefit not only yourself, but can benefit others also. When you use whatever you have, benefiting yourself and benefiting others, you see they become happy. When parents invest their money on children, then they can be happy too. Occasionally the children don't come back, but that is what you call investment. Whatever things that you invest, they not necessarily all come back to you, isn't it? So if you know the art of giving, if you give, but you have certain ulterior motives, certain intention of getting back something, then if you don't get back, then there will be a lot of problems, worries and disappointment. But if you have given with a good mind, with a wholesome mind, then whatever you give, you know you have done your part. You do not expect anything in return. Whether you get it back or you don't get it back, never mind. Then your mind is free. You have done a good work. You have done your duties. You have fulfilled your responsibilities. Thinking in that manner, your mind is free. See the breath. When you breathe in, you don't purposely try to cling on to the breath and then stop little while and then little while more breathe out. No. Naturally it goes, and then naturally it goes in and naturally comes out. So, we also have to learn how to live naturally. This is what Dhamma is about, nature. To be part and parcel of nature. Because in giving, you see, in this world, people want happiness, and the happiness that they derive from are money. Money or wealth is a source of happiness. Health is another source of happiness. Health is a source of happiness. You know how to have good health? How? Make sure you breathe in and breathe out properly. You see? Well, if you can breathe in and out properly, and you can get sufficient oxygen and circulation, and the chi in your body can move properly, then your body will be healthy. Of course, when there are a lot of worries and a lot of aches here and there, then difficult. When you get angry, watch your breath and see what happens when you get angry. What happens when you get angry? Did you observe your breath? Or when you get into certain fits and emotion arises in your mind, look and observe the breath. See whether it is a long breath or short breath. It is short, isn't it? It is short breath. Short breath means that you are not taking oxygen sufficiently. That means if you continue in that manner, then your whole body will become tense. And so there will be tension, there will be stress, both in the body. The stress, the tension in the body can condition the mind. And again, the mind which is not trained, the mind that is not cultivated, when there is stress, when there is tension, that it will further condition the body. And hence all kinds of sicknesses can arise from that. The most popular one being what? Cancer today, is it? Heart failure, cancer. Yes, it is. Of course, people can tell you all kinds of things. Don't drink tea, don't drink coffee, don't drink, and all kinds of food have got certain, can cause cancer. No? Everything can cause cancer. No? If you take too much of it. But I think today somewhere I heard, there are people who are looking into studying the relation between mind, relaxation and cancer. And they are beginning to get a breakthrough that it is really that cancer is also caused by the stress that develops in the mind. And already many doctors, many medical science have pointed out that 90%, or not 95%, the other 5% or 10% still they have not found out. They have not, it's not that it's not caused, but it's not, they still not discovered. All the others they have discovered, and they are directly or indirectly connected with the mind. That is why they have called them psychosomatic sickness. Psychosomatic means it is a sickness that is conditioned by the mind. So when the mind is free, then the sickness will also go away. Many sicknesses can go away when you are able to free your mind. Many people are addicted to drugs, to various kinds. I'm not talking about drug abuse. I'm talking about the usage of drugs. Hmm? People take at every little sickness that they get, they don't want to be sick, and they don't like to see the little one sick also. When they see the little one cry, they run from here to there, one doctor to another doctor. Some doctors don't want to prescribe medicine, don't want to prescribe the pills, tablets immediately to young ones. But the parents get upset and say, that's no good. That doctor is, no good. And go in. They want something quickly. Remember, the body has a certain way of working. Then little one, when they are sick, sometimes we need to allow them to build up certain resistance of their own, you see, and not just to put in medicine into their mouth because you like to see them smiling all the time. But have to understand that the body is such. So sometimes they may not feel uneasy. But the body can naturally build up certain resistance. Because if you travel a little bit more to countries where they do not have so good medical facilities, you see little ones in the villages, they roam about. And they eat all sorts of dirty things. They also don't die. But you see little ones, take care, so much attention. Every 6 months check up, also die. See? So have to know the balance. We must know how to have balance. And this balance can only come about when the mind is balanced, when the mind has wisdom and compassion. If you have only compassion, you have kindness, you like to see people happy. When they cry, you feel very sad. Sometimes people must cry also, isn't it? You must allow them to cry. Then only they can laugh. You see? If they cannot cry, they cannot laugh. So, when we have wisdom, we can understand. Yes, they need this, so they can come back to restore that equilibrium. Natural body resistance need to be built up. But of course, we have to know when to give. To know when to give, all this will depend on the wisdom mind. To develop wisdom, one will need to have concentration and awareness. Not only concentration. Some people concentrate their minds so much so that they can make themselves become like stone or rock. The mind becomes so rigid. That is not right concentration. Right concentration is concentration with awareness. In other words, we must know how to concentrate the mind and use the mind. The mind must be able to must be flexible enough so that we can use the mind, we can contemplate, we can reflect. It is only when there is awareness, then we can reflect, we can contemplate, we can think about things. Then we can see, when we can contemplate, we will be able to see that everything arises due to causes and conditions, that nothing arises from nothing. All our problems, all our worries and all our difficulties have arisen because of certain causes, not one cause. Much as you would like to give the one cause theory, when somebody asks you about your trouble, immediately you can give one cause. Of course, that cause is not on you. The cause is always outside. Why? Because that person. And if you cannot catch people, you see, you do not know, and because they are too strong for you, then you blame the weather. If not, you blame the poor hunters. You see, the devils have done this job. That's why I am sick. You keep on blaming, and sometimes, poor fellows, poor, ancestors and relatives who have passed away, they get the blame. Because you blame them for your sickness. You know how many children blame their parents when they lose their jobs, when their business, they lose their business, then they blame their parents. Why the hell did they, bring me up? Why the hell did they give birth to me? Parents who are being accused, being blamed like this, should have the wisdom to ask them, I did not invite you. Why did you come to me? You could have come to somebody else. So don't accept 100% responsibilities. But you are also responsible partly. 50-50. It is because of your clinging, because of your craving, because of the clinging tendencies, and because of that energy, karmic energy, that brings this kind of children to this kind of parents. So be happy about it, that you are born in a certain family, you grow that family because of certain karma. You meet some people, you become very close to them, they become your life partner as husband or wife. That is also certain karma behind it. Yes. You may need, it's enough, it's okay. Never mind, it's okay. So, karma, it is our action. That action which arises in the mind, in our thoughts, which manifests into speech and bodily action. These are our real inheritance. If there is anything that we can call our own, it is our actions, good and bad actions, wholesome and unwholesome action. The action is called good, wholesome or moral because that action when performed will give rise to happiness, both to oneself as well as to others. The action is called bad, wrong, unwholesome, immoral. We can use many words, but the criteria of judgment is such that those unwholesome actions, unskillful actions are such that when performed, they bring about harm. They harm oneself and harm others. In other words, they give sorrow, they give unhappiness to oneself and sorrow, unhappiness to others. So you can see here that the whole teachings not only part of the teaching, the whole teachings of the Buddha are concerned with happiness. How to have happiness in this world. Not only beyond this, not only in this world, but beyond this world too. To maintain, to have happiness. Of course, the happiness that we have in this world, they are subject to change. They are fleeting, changing. The money that you have, nobody can maintain their wealth forever. They can live with it for 10, 20, 30. How many years can you live with all your wealth? At the most now about 70, 80, 90, 100 years, see? After that, you have to part from it also. And you cannot take along with you. You cannot bring along all the money that you have acquired, all the wealth that you have acquired. No. At the most that they will put is some, paper money. They will burn the money which has been specially designed for the next world. They won't burn the real money. And some people will burn houses, cars, aeroplanes with chauffeurs, but not real ones, only paper ones. At the most you will receive will be those things, ashes, in ashes. How else can they send you? Because there is no post office to deliver. No delivery. But this delivery, this method of sending things through fire has been there for a long time. In fact, even prior to the time of the Buddha, people have been sending things to their departed relatives, to the devas, and all to the deities, celestial beings, through fire. That is why, the sacrifices in India, not only in India, now also, some people perform sacrifices. They, after slaughtering chicken or goat, and then lamb, and then they burn and offer, right? Like what you do, barbecue, no? That was, but what happens? When they are sacrificing, they say that they offer, they burn, and the goodness, the smoke, the essence, they offer. When they are sacrificing, they say that they offer, they burn, and the goodness, the smoke, the essence, they offer. What they are eating is just the residue. If that be the case, then think again when you have the next barbecue. What you are eating only, second-hand stuff. The real essence have gone. And so this is what, when people believe in the efficacy of sacrifices, and poor animals are being killed in the expense of human beings. Is it right for us to enjoy? Is it right for us to gain happiness at the expense of others? No. The Buddha says no. That is why the whole process of sacrificing, and was checked actually with the teachings of the Buddha. With the advent of Buddhism, sacrificial practices were stopped, but of course you cannot stop all of that. So again they come up in various ways. So our action, belief, have confidence in the efficacy of one's action, not sacrifices. Prayers, well, if you have faith in prayer, you can pray. But along with that prayer, actions are necessary, because there is a saying, one wise action is better than countless prayers. You can keep on praying and praying and praying and praying, but you do not work, then you cannot gain. You cannot become well if you keep on praying and praying and praying, but here you do not do the proper exercise, you do not take medicine, you do not look after yourself, you cannot get well. So these are the things that believe in the efficacy, have confidence in your action, that good action gives rise to good results. It is because of the goodness that you are having a good life now. You are able to maintain your happiness. You are able to maintain some peace of mind now because of the good that you have done. And now also you are doing good things, By listening to Dhamma, you can clear out some wrong ideas, wrong concepts, some foolish ideas you can clear from your mind, and it can bring about a greater awareness so that you become more aware of your thoughts, speech and bodily action. Becoming more aware of your thoughts, speech and bodily action means that you will become aware that constantly this mind is being bombarded by various kinds, good and bad, mental factors. The good mental factors are those factors which are rooted in liberality, loving kindness and wisdom. The unwholesome ones that brings about sorrow and unsatisfactoriness in the mind are those that are rooted in greed, in craving, in hatred and in delusion. When we become aware of these mental factors, these defiling tendencies in the mind, then we can make up our mind to try to overcome greed by the practice of generosity, overcome hatred by the practice of loving kindness, overcome delusion, ignorance by the practice of wisdom, by developing insight, penetrate into the true nature of things. Then there will be a greater sense of balance in the mind. Always in this world, when we live, we have to contemplate that in this world, the conditions that prevails in this world are such that when there is profit, there is loss. Of course, when there is loss, there is also profit. There is praise. Sometimes people praise you, and sometimes they blame you. Sometimes you become popular, and your name is flashed here and there, in the newspapers, in television, in radio. At other times, you get blame, people, ill fame. You lose your reputation. Sometimes you are happy, sometimes you are not happy, you are sad. The world is like that. To live in this world means to live with these conditions. In order to maintain a balanced state of mind, we need constantly, frequently to contemplate on these worldly phenomena. What are these worldly phenomena again? Profit and loss. And when you make some losses now, never mind. We know that the share market has fall down. Don't get upset. Don't get upset. Some of you have lost a lot. Never mind. Can make again. What you have lost, actually, you have gained, isn't it? You have gained first, no? They are not yours, really. Don't cling to that. They are those things that you have gained. And then you lose it. If you have not gained, how can you lose? So be happy about it. Maintain equanimity. Maintain equanimity. And so that when people praise you, don't be too happy. Don't, keep equanimity in your mind. Half think that, yes, today he praised me. Tomorrow he can blame me. So never mind, I maintain. And maybe not tomorrow, the same day in the evening might blame you. And when you are being blamed, then says, there you are. This morning he praised me. Now he blamed me. Okay, neutralize, maintain. Never mind. Every time you are being blamed, then please recall, well, so many people praise me already. Now this one person blamed me. Never mind. Okay, maintain equanimity. So, in your diary, you can keep record. One day, how many praises you get, how many blame you get. You can, and also how much you gain, how much you lose. And how much reputation. Oh, you know many people. And then, one day, with your loss of wealth, people also run away from you. Actually, when you become popular, then you are the target for gossip. People will bring out, oh, you know that person, he is, you know how he came up? You know what he was? He was like that, and all the rubbish they dig up. When the rubbish surfaces up, then ill fame come up. Yes. Remember this. When you want, those who want power, those who want fame, please remember that they will also be the target of jealousy and envy. This is the nature of the world. So in case, of course, there are some people who don't want. They don't go in search for fame, but they get fame. That is the nature also. That is also the Dhamma. So when you get this kind of fame, and in order to maintain that, then you must not to put yourself like this. You must bend down a bit. Bend down does not mean to say hunchback, but maintain your humility. Be humble. When you are humble, then oh, you are down with the ordinary people, then you are already very low with your humility, cannot go lower. So this is how you can maintain that. When there is sorrow in your mind, cheer yourself up and say, well, there have been happy moments before. And when you get angry with your wife, your husband, your children, then what happens is this: when you cling to those angry thoughts, what happens is you will only see the bad side of things. Then you will become more angry and you harbor that anger. But in order to maintain the balance of mind, you should try to see the good side of it. See the goodness. What the wife has done for you, what the husband has done for you, what parents have done, what your children, the happiness that your children has given you. Then you can maintain. The moment you see the good side of it, your anger will dissolve. This is how to purify the mind. That is why it is important to maintain gratitude in the mind. Where there is gratitude in the mind, then gratitude will purify. It's a good purifier of the mind. And then you can maintain balance. So, I think that is sufficient for this morning. And don't always say you do not know. And if you do not know, you must know why you do not know. And it is true that there are many things that we do not know. But it is not important to know everything also. Now, I do not know many things. Last time I thought I know them. And now I know that I do not know them. And now I think that many things not necessary to know also. And there are certain things that are necessary to know, that we have to know. So don't be too busybody. Last time I like to know about everybody. Everybody that comes, I want to know about them. And now I begin to realize that I need to know myself first. And when I know myself, then I will know all of you. I may not know you in your names, by your names, never mind. They are only labels. But I can understand you through your thought, through your speech, and through your bodily action. If I can understand my own thoughts. Because when I think like this, then I speak like that. When I think like this, my body acts like that. When I see your body act like that, then I can have a fair idea what you are thinking about. So in that manner, please try. Come again and again. Do more good action. Avoid the bad action. Do good and then purify your mind. How to purify your mind? By giving up greed through giving. Giving up hatred through the practice of loving kindness. And giving up ignorance, delusion through the practice of wisdom. Then you can purify your mind. So let us, supposed to have question time, is it? But it is already, time. Never mind, you can write, okay? You can write. And this time, do you want to ask question? Anybody? There you are. Nobody want to ask question. And in case you have question that you want to ask, right? You can write. No need to put your name. and then please give it to any one of the members here, and then they will give it to me. And then the next time I come, don't ask me when, I will come one day. And when I come, I will be here. Then I will answer those questions directly. Okay? So you have to keep coming, no? And it's a good thing too, no? And then we can answer your questions. But because, you see, if you have no problems, like now you are happy, you have no problems. So don't think about problems. Many people, question time. Actually they have no problem, and then they try to think of problem, to ask that kind of question. Oh, that's not the way. No. It's when you have problem, when you are practicing the Dhamma, then you have problem. Then can ask, can raise the question. Okay? So now no problem. Now that you are happy, free your mind. Keep your mind happy. And keep your mind free. And don't think of problems. And we will round up this with calming your mind further. Little bit we teach you how to breathe in and breathe out, and then so that you can use this technique to maintain your happiness and to enhance them. So you can sit in an upright posture. For those of you who have never done any meditation before, and in case you do not know where to put your hands, place your hands one on top of the other, right over left, and just resting it with open palms, not with clenched fist, open palms, resting on your lap one over the other. Try to keep your body upright. Try to keep your body upright. And adjust your body posture so that you are in a fairly comfortable and relaxed position. Take a few deep breaths, breathe in and breathe out. Now as you breathe in and out, focus your attention on the breath and observe the breath as it enters and leaves the nostrils. Focusing your attention around the tip of your nostrils. Those of you who have been watching, practicing the rising and falling of your abdomen, you can watch the rise and fall of your abdomen as you breathe in and out. Others can observe the breath as they breathe in and breathe out. Just observe your breath. Any thoughts, any distraction that arises in your mind, as soon as you become aware of it, you will return your attention to your breath. You may close your eyes or half close your eyes and free your mind. Free your mind from all worries, all thoughts of the past, of the future. And just be aware of the present moment, that you are breathing in, breathing out. Keep your attention on the breath. And make your mind wide awake and fully alert. You are aware of your breath as you breathe in and breathe out. You will now bring your attention to your body Breathe in, breathe out normally. As you breathe in and out, just relax your body. Feel your whole body relax. From the top of your head, the scalp, right down to the tip of your toes, just relax your body. That may this body be free from ill health, free from sufferings. May it experience calm and peace. Just feel a sense of well-being and happiness within you. In the same manner, you will now recall to mind all your religious teachers, if you have any, wherever they may be, that may they too be free from ill health, free from suffering. May they have calm and peace. That may all our religious teachers be well and happy. Now extend your thoughts to your parents, mother and father, those who are living, wherever they are now, that may they too be free from ill health, free from sufferings. May they have calm and peace. May all our parents be well and happy. Extend your thoughts of loving kindness to all your brothers and sisters and all the other members of your family, relatives, friends, and whoever that comes to your mind. May they be well, may they be happy, free from ill health, free from sufferings, free from harm and danger. May they all be well and happy. You will now return your attention to your body. Breathe in, breathe out normally. As you breathe in and out, just radiate your thoughts of loving kindness in all the directions, above, below, and all around you. And fill this whole hall with your thoughts of loving kindness, that all who are gathered here, known or unknown to you, seen or unseen, may they be free from ill health, free from sufferings. May they have calm and peace. May all be well and happy. Going beyond the confines of this hall to the whole temple premises, and to as far as your mental vibrations can reach, covering all the surrounding areas and the whole of Kuala Lumpur, the whole of Federal Territory, that all beings, all that dwells within the Federal Territory, known or unknown to us, seen or unseen, may they be well, may they be happy, may they be free from enmity, free from harm and danger. Keep on radiating your thoughts to as far as your mental vibrations can reach, to your own residence and hometown, covering the whole country, and to as far as your mental vibrations can reach, that may all beings, known or unknown, seen or unseen, all that dwells in the air, in the open space, on land, in the waters, may they all be well and happy. May they be free from harm, free from danger. May all beings be well and happy. Vātu sappha mangalam vakkantu sappha devata sappha buddhanubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te. Bhavatu sappha mangalam rakkantu sappha devata sappha dhammanubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te. Bhavatu sappha mangalam rakkantu sappha devata sappha sanghanubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te. May all be well and happy. You will now slowly return your attention to your body. Take a few deep breaths, breathe in and breathe out, and then slowly open your eyes, be wide awake, feeling calm and peaceful. Slowly open your eyes and be wide awake, and mindfully relax yourselves. And free your mind. And please cherish thoughts of loving kindness. And amidst when we live in an atmosphere of hatred, in an atmosphere of conflict, it is very important for us to free our minds and not to take in unnecessary thoughts and cling to unnecessary things that can trouble the mind, that can burden the mind, and can harbor hatred, anger. So it is very fitting to practice metta or loving kindness with wisdom.
ภวันตุสัพพมังคลังราคันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพพุทธานุภาเวนัสสทาโสติภวันตุเตภวันตุสัพพมังคลังราคันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพธรรมานุภาเวนัสสทาโสติภวันตุเตภวันตุสัพพมังคลังราคันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพสังฆานุอาเวนัสสทาโสติภาวันตุเตหันตมยังสารพันเยนะพุทธมังคละคาทายโยพนามะเสสัมพุทโธทิปตังเสโธนิสิโนเจวามะทิเมโกนทันโยมุปภาเกจา จักวามปฏิโมกันลาโนจะอุตตะเรอิตาเนปิจาราหุโลอิเมโกมังคลาพุทธาสัพเพตาปฏิทิตาวันทิตาเตจัมเหหิสักกาเลหิจาปุจิตาเอเตสังอานุภาเวนะสัพพะโสทิภาวันตุโนคาถาภูธิบาทบุรพารัสมิงพระพุทธคุณังบุรพารัสมิงพระธรรมเมตังบุรพารัสมิงพระสังฆานังทุกขโลกพยังละวิวันใจเยสัพพทุกข์สัพพโศกสัพพโรคสัพพภัยสัพพโรคเสนียดจันไรวิวันชัยเยสัพพะทานังสัพพะลาภังละภวันตุเมอาคันเนรัสมิงพระพุทธคุณังอาคันเนรัสมิงพระธรรมเมตังอาคันเนรัสมิงพระสังฆานังทุกขโลกพยังละวิวันชัยเยสัพพทุกข์สัพพโศกสัพพโรคสัพพภัยสัพพเคราะห์เสนียดจันไรวิวันชัยเยสัพพทานังสัพพะลาภังละภวันตุเมทักษิณรัศมิงพระพุทธคุณังทักษิณรัศมิงพระธรรมเมตังทักษิณรัศมิงพระสังฆานังทุกขโลกพยังวิวันชัยเยสัพพทุกข์สัพพโศกสัพพโรคสัพพภัยสัพพเคราะห์เสนียดจันไรวิวันชัยเยสัพพะทานังสัพพะลาภังละภวันตุเมหรดีรัสมิงพระพุทธคุณังหรดีรัสมิงพระธรรมเมตังหรดีรัสมิงพระสังฆานังทุกขโลกพยังละวิวันชัยเยสัพพทุกข์สัพพโศกสัพพโรคสัพพภัยสัพพเคราะห์เสนียดจันไรวิวันชัยเยสัพพทานังสัพพะลาภังพระภวันตุเมปัจจิมรัสมิงพระพุทธคุณังปัจจิมรัสมิงพระธรรมเมตังปัจจิมรัสมิงพระสังฆานังทุกขโลกพยังละวิวันชัยเยสัพพทุกข์สัพพโศกสัพพโรคสัพพภัยสัพพเคราะห์เสนียดจันไรวิวันชัยเยสัพพทานังสัพพะลาภังภวันตุเมภายะประสมิง พระพุทธคุณังพายาพระสมิงพระธรรมเมตังพายาพระสมิงพระสังฆานังทุกขโรกพยานาวิวันใจเยสัพพทุกข์สัพพโศกสัพพโรคสัพพภัยสัพพเคราะห์เสนียดจันไรวิวันชัยเยสัพพะทานังสัพพะลาภังระภวันตุเมอุดรรัสมิงพระพุทธคุณังอุดรรัสมิงพระธรรมเมตังอุดรรัสมิงพระสังฆานังทุกขโรกพยามระวิวันชัยเยสัพพทุกข์สัพพโศกสัพพโรคสัพพภัยสัพพเคราะห์เสนียดจันไรวิวันชัยเยสัพพทานังสัพพลาภังละภวันตุเมอิสานรัสมิงพระพุทธคุณังอิสานรัสมิงพระธรรมเมตังอิสานรัสมิงพระสังฆานังทุกขโลกพยางระวิวันชัยเยสัพพทุกข์สัพพโศกสัพพโรคสัพพภัยสัพพเคราะห์เสนียดจันไรวิวันชัยเยสัพพะทานังสัพพะลาภังละภวันตุเมรักปัตมังคระสุตราคาถา อิติปิโสภะคะวะอะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธวิชชาจารณสัมปันโนสุขโตโลกวิทูอนุตตโลปุริสธรรมสารติสัทธาเทวมนุสสานังพุทโธภะคะวะติสวากขาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมสันติติโกหกาลิโกเอหิปัสสิโกโอปนัญญิโกปัจจตังเวทิตาโพวิญโยเยติสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆอุจุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆญาญาปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสามีติปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆยะติทังจัตตาริปุริสยุคานิอัตถปุริสปุคลาเอสะภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆอาหุนายโยปะหุนายโยทาคินายโยอัญชลิกรณีโยอนุตตรังปุญญาเขตังโลกัสสติอาหุงสหัสสมาพิเนมิตัสสาอุทันตังเวเมฆลังอุทิตะโครัสเสนามาลังทานาติตัมมวิตินาจิตวามุนินโทตันเตจะสาภวันตุเตจยมังคลานิมาราติเรกมปิโยจิตสาปราติงโครัมปนารวกมากมตาทยาคังอันเตสุทันตวิตินาจิตวามุนินโทตันเตจะสาภวันตุเตชยมังคลานินาลากิริงกัจจวลังอติอาตพุตังปาวาคิจากรรมสเนวสุทารุนันตังเมตตัมพุเตกวิตินาจิตวามุนินโทตันเต าภวันตุเตชยมังคลานิโอเกตคาคมติหาทัสสุทารุนันตังทาวันติโยชนะปะทังกุริมาลวันตังเอเตปิสังคตมโนจิตวามุนินโทตันเตจตาภวันตุเตชยมังคลานิกตวานากาตมุตรังอิวะคัมปินิยาจินจายรุตวัจนังชนกายมาเทสันเตนะโสมวิตินาจิตวามุนินโทตันเตชะสาภวันตุเตชยมังคลานิสัจจังวิหายมติสัจจกวาตะเกตุงวาทาพิโลปิตมนังอติอันตพุตังปัญญาปฏิปัจจลิโตจิตวามุนินโทตันเตชะสาภวันตุเตชยมังคลานินันโทปนันทพุจกังวิพุทังมหิติงพุทเตนะเทระพุจเกนะธรรมากยันโตอิสุปเตสวิตินาจิตวามุนินโทตันเตชะสาภวันตุเตชยมังคลานิทุกขาติเตพุจเกนะสุตาทาทังพรหมังวิสุทธิจุติเมเตภคาปิดานังญาณาคเทนะวิตินาจิตวามุนินโทตันเตจัสสะภวันตุเตชยมังคลานิเอตาปิปุตตชยมังภระอัตถคาทายโยวาจโนตินาติเนสรเตมตันติหิตวานันเนกวิวิธานิจุปัตตวานิโมกขังสุขังอติขมายนาโรตปัญโยกรณียเมตตาสุตังการณียมัสสกุสเลนยันตังสันตังปะทังอภิสัมเมจะสักโกอุชุจะตุโหชุจะตุวาชุจะสมุตัวนาติมานิรันตุสะโกจะตุปาโรจะอาปะกิจโจจะสันลาอุกวติสันตินทริโยจะนิปะโกจะอาปะคาโพกุเลสุวานันนุเกโทนะจะพุทธังสัมมาจเรกิมจิเยนะวินโยปะเรอุปวัฏายโยสุขิโนวาเกมิโนโหนตุสัพเพสัตตาภวันตุสุขิสัตตาเยเกจิปานะพุทธาติตัสสาวาทาวราวาอนาวเสสาติขาวาเยมหันตาวามัชฌิมารัสสกาอนุกตุลาทิตาวาเยจะทิฏฐาเยจะทุเรวสันติอวิทุเรปุตตาวาสัมภเวสีวาสัพเพสัตตาภวันตุสุขิตาตานาปโลปรังมิโกเพธนาติมันเยตกาตตินังเกมสิพยาโรสนาปฏิขสัญญานัญญมัญญาสตุขมิชัยยมาตายธานิยังพุทธังอายุสาเอกพุทธมนุราเคเอวัมปิสาภะโพเตสุมาณสัมภาวะเยอปริมาณังเมตัญจะสาภโล กัสมิงมานะสัมภาวะเยอปริมาณังพุทธังอโทจติริยัญจะสัมภาทังอเวรังอสสปัตตังติทันจรังนิสินโนวาสยาโนวายาวตัสสวิคตมิโตเอตังสติงอติทายะพระมเมตังวิหารังอิตมาอุทิสินจานุปคัมมสิลวะทัสสะเนนะสัมปันโนกาเมสุวินัยเกธัมมหิชาตุขาปัสสยังปุณเร